Pride comes before a fall. A saying that we used to say a lot in the olden days, at least when I was in primary, it was something that we kept saying over and over again. Hi, my name is Wanjiko Murigi, a counseling psychologist based in Nairobi. And in the month of March, we are going to be going through chapter by chapter what the book of Proverbs talks about narcissistic, toxic, and abusive partners. The reason as to why all these three are in the same category, it's because their personalities, their character are very much intertwined, right? And now we have a lot of people who are presenting with narcissistic personality disorder. Right? Sometimes I don't think it's a disorder. At times I believe it's someone's choice and nature that has caused them to be that they don't have any kind of emotions. So today being 11th of March, we're going to look at Proverbs 11. Now, Proverbs 11 tells us, like at the beginning, it talks about pride. And what it says is, when pride comes, then comes disgrace. And the thing is, when you look at narcissistic persons, the level of pride that they have can almost not be compared to anything. Because they're the kind of people that you cannot tell, you cannot correct, and they are not submitted to any kind of authority. Whether it's their parents, their bosses, like it has to be like really twisted, and most of the times they end up having their way. Or because of the kind of standard or kind of image that their job gives them, then they seem as though they are submitted to their bosses. But at the end of the day, like internally, it has nothing to do with the organization, nothing to do with the boss, but everything to do with them and how they carry themselves and how they view themselves and how society is going to view them based on their income, based on their job grade, based on how much they have in their pockets. Now, Proverbs 11 specifically, also says that in the moment of distress, in a moment of wrath, wealth will not save you. Now, this is the thing. A few years back, I remember it when I was in primary school and also in campus. We would say it jokingly because ladies would say, I'd rather be crying in a range than laughing on a bicycle. And that thing at that moment never used to seem like it's making much sense. Like narcissism wasn't a big thing, but abuse was. Toxicity also was not so big, unlike the term that we always used to use, which was abuse. And in those days, abusive partners used to seem as though they were more among the middle, lower, and lower class. Because you'll rarely hear of someone who's in a range but is suffering. You'll rarely hear someone on a bicycle and laughing. Like it used to be such a contradiction for the outside world. But now that I have grown and dealt with people a lot, it seems that the ones in the range are the ones who are getting toxic partners, narcissistic partners, abusive partners. Not all of them, but a majority. Not all of them and not majority, but there are many of them, at least from what I have experienced and what I have seen. And you will find that you as a victim, when you end up being with someone because of their wealth, and you have reached a place of death, and we say death does not have to be physical, it can also be emotional, it can be financial, it can be spiritual. That now what you become literally a living dead. You're living, yes, but you're always on autopilot. It is jump, and for you ask how high. This kind of person, when it reaches a place where the narcissist partner is done with you, even the wealth is not going to help you. The number of people in courts who have sued their partners, who are pushing their partners to maintain their lives for child support are numerous. It's saddening. Like, you see a father who can manage to sustain the life of the children, but because of what they carry within, they really don't care. As long as I'm making you suffer, please, I won't. And as long as you decided that you will not be with me, and you've really messed my name out there because that you left me, and then me, I end up financing your life. No, not this person. And then also it states that sometimes I feel like these things can be a bit harsh. Whoever derides their neighbor has no sense, but the one who has understanding holds their tongue. And the reason as to why it states this, it's because I would love for you guys to be observant. Like, have do I call it a desire? Have this thing of just sitting back and observing people. Observe couples. You observe their love, their display of public display of affection, and their non-verbal cues with each other, and just body language, and you will pick out so much. Okay, it's an interest for me, so I will observe and I will see. And this is not even just about neighbor of outside. It can also be neighbor, your partner. Neighbor is not only the person who's outside, but it's also your partner, because that's the person that you're always next to. And also what it states that can connect to this one is whoever who brings ruin to their family will inherit only wind. Meaning that at the end of their life, they will have nothing to show for it. Sadly, I wonder if there's any study that has been done in regards to the life of a narcissistic or an abusive or a toxic human being when they come to the end of their life. I know here and there people, how they speak about someone in their family who was so mean, who was abusive to the wife, and by the time now they're dying, because also their death is very painful, they have no one close to them, and this is when they start feeling remorse. But it would be nice to have like a very good study of like, this is what really happens. But now from these different people, what I know is at their deathbed, there's almost no one who will be there to hold a hand, to give comfort or anything. Like, if by the time you're getting there, if you don't have money, and you see, the worst thing is that if you feel you can always pay for any service, then there's no emotional connection. So even the people that you have around you when you can't be able to manage yourself are there because of the money. And it becomes such a cold relationship, such a parallel one, that you end up never connecting with any person. So for today, that is it. That is all I can share about the narcissistic partners. So if you're one, know that you think you're bringing ruin to your family and to your partner, but at the end of the day, at your sunset of life, the ruin is going to come back to you. If you feel as though it is your neighbor that you're hurting, trust you, at the end of the day, it comes back to bite you on your back, on your behind. You might feel that your wealth is going to pay for everything, but on the day of wrath, remember, it will not save you. Because still at the end of the day, you need people. Right now you're strong. Right now you feel as though you can be able to do everything for yourself. But truly, a time will come when you may not. A very important point here as we come to a close is how a woman is described as a pig with a golden nose ring. It means nothing. The person is still filthy, even if they have a very valuable thing on the physical. Because also you can find women who are extremely beautiful on the outside, but inside they stink. So remember, as we're sharing this, it's not only men who are abusive, it's not only men who are toxic, it's not only men who are narcissistic, but also women. And it gives a very good description because the woman is compared to a pig. That the golden ring on the pig's snot is a beautiful woman, but what they have, you know how pigs are, like they're really filthy. That filth is on their inside. So even for any man, do not be sold by the outer beauty. Even for women, don't be sold to the outer. But what's the person carrying inside? What bubbles out of them? What flows out of them? So that is it for 11th. We shall see you tomorrow on the 12th of the month. We are almost in the middle of the month. Nice. See you and have an amazing day.